Not so fast.
That is
not going to be saved by the prince.
Why?
If that's what they want to do, then I guess they're going to have a lot of people angry at them.
Question: do waitresses get a bonus for every bite you eat? Or mechanics make a buck for every mile you drive after repairs? Answer: no, of course not. Yet Disney's new Snow White, played by Rachel Zegler, disagrees. The actress thinks she should be paid by the hour, just like the cheap motels used by high-heel pros. That's Tinseltown for you in a nutshell. Cry louder, earn faster, because who needs work when you can put on a show? See, today's Hollywood is a diaper den, nothing more than an exclusive daycare for emotional hemophiliacs. Disney tried rebooting a fantasy tale using the Mouse House's new mission statement. We don't have to tell a love story because our people will simply fall in line. What's going on, everybody? Disney's latest parolee plays the princess in Snow White and the Sensitive Seven. She just opened her mouth to insert the tampon into the wrong hole.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
What the hell are you talking about?
Seriously, celebrities used to be addicted to drugs, and now they're addicted to virtue signaling. But between you and me, both wreak havoc on the mind. But the actress is merely a symptom of a much deeper underlying problem.
So my name's Nick. I'm one of Fairy Godmother's apprentices. I'm here to shop you around and make all your selections for the day.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
The Mouse House is hell-bent on leading the charge for identity politics. Rachel simply towing the line.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. Weird. It's Hollywood, baby.
It's a piece of shit.
Now, if you find value in the video, please do me the favor. Watch it from beginning till end, because the longer you watch, the more it helps YouTube rank it and share it with everyone. And if you want to be ready for the next time we have a release, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button. Now, did you know that 78% of Gen Zers will do absolutely anything to become a celebrity?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937.
No way.
And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Becoming the leader she knows she can be.
What you just watched was Rachel's latest audition reel to become an online influencer, because making a sex tape today is just too much work.
Because I was horny and I felt like it.
Ever since the Mouse House started making the woke films for Ivy League freshman orientation and stopped making real movies that audiences wanted to see and pay for, the quality of the stories and the caliber of the cast, I don't know how to say it, frankly, they suck. They rank somewhere between a root canal and a Stop Oil protester being rescued because of his own stupidity. Disney at one point had a motto that said, "Where dreams come true."
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the very first full-length animated feature in movie history.
Today, the corporate mandate is we have quotas to fill.
We're not going to make everybody happy all the time, and we're not going to try to. And we're certainly not going to lessen our core values.
In which I pledge to be a better ally for the LGBTQ+ community.
Our core values.
Wherever I could, just basically adding queerness.
Our core values. We're not going to make everybody happy all the time.
Well, Iger's certainly getting his wish. No one is happy. The Tragic Kingdom is in free fall before it goes belly up. Disney Plus just lost almost 12 million subscribers. The stock is cratering. They lost another billion from the movies. And attendance over at the parks is crashing.
For instance, Parks and Resorts, which is just a tremendous business for us. You know, we're invested significantly, but the investments we've made over the years are really paying off today.
Yeah, Bobby boy, it's all peaches and cream. That's exactly why the Mouse House is now holding a garage sale to sell off corporate assets. Meantime, Mickey's making a beeline for the back door anytime he's not too busy playing Minnie.
I'm just like Minnie Mouse. But wait, something's missing. I know. How could I forget? A giant red bow, the biggest fashion statement. And now the look is complete.
That is one ugly dog.
That's right. Disney's gone full Bud Light, and the backlash is just the beginning. Disney's Dylan Mulvaney moment as it partners with gender-fluid TikTok influencer Sean Altman to promote clothing for girls. The cheese chasers are so blinded by nonsense that they don't realize that they're repelling their family-friendly customer base. But to make matters worse, they're former writers, people who are actually responsible for destroying more franchises than Lizzo has taken out breakfast buffets. They're now having a go.
And Justin and I wrote a Star Wars movie together.
Yeah, we did.
Picketing Disney is more fun.
Oh, it's a delight.
We'll say that.
Strike the Empire back, baby.
Isn't that ironic?
Disney was too dumb. I mean, they didn't even have the business acumen, the foresight to name the feature product like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They simply named the feature Snow White. They could have capitalized on the 1937 legend and make a little bit of money for their shareholders. But the executive said, nope.
I saw the logo and I went, that's my name, Snow White's up there. And I cried my eyes out.
You can see that Rachel fits right in over at the company as another public school participation trophy baby. The difference is she actually believes she's a historic activist simply because she braved the front lines of Twitter.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign.
Even as a joke, she has about as much chance winning an election as Meghan Markle.
Yeah, that's totally me.
You know, these 20-somethings like Rachel Ziegler continuously complain that it's their time to be in charge of everything, that boomers need to step aside and hand over the keys. We'd love to. We'd like to have fun, but we have to wait for her to grow up, get a grip, and stop telling people that the worst horror story in her life was A Day Without Autocorrect. Snow White is the latest Disney film to get woke-washed. The headline pretty much says it all. The company decided to replace talent, originality, creativity, and great storytelling with a management team that has a PhD in TikTok and a minor in #hero symbolism. See, they forgot that when you root the foundation of a film in the fanaticism of this racist representation fantasy, the whole sandcastle is going to fall apart. So how do you smoke out the rats from their palace? We're going to dive a little bit deeper. See, Disney embraces drag queens. They don't have a problem with that. But all of a sudden, they draw the line at dwarves. It's like, what gives? Why X out this character and then change them fundamentally in the film? I think it's because you had an executive who was a coward after hearing someone raise a ruckus. Peter Dinklage calls out Disney for backward Snow White remake. The Game of Thrones star pulled out a soapbox so he could stand tall for the vertically challenged.
They're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White.
Yeah.
But you're still telling the story of Snow White.
Yeah.
Seven Dwarfs.
Sure.
So, look, take a step back and look at what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I know. That makes no sense to me.
But,
you're progressive in one way, but you're still making that fucking backward story of seven dwarves living in a cave. What the fuck are you doing, man?
So much for caring about his community. Dinklage was triggered by Disney the same way college students react to eye contact. But what's true? What really got him heated up about this whole event? Simple. He wasn't cast in Snow White, and that angered him, so he wanted to make damn sure that no other dwarf could get hired for the job. This is selfishness, pure and simple. He wants to maintain his stranglehold monopoly on the Hollywood market. But to add insult to injury, he just proved how small-minded his thinking is as a bona fide hypocrite.
Because I'm about as politically non-correct.
Right.
Probably because of who I am, I'm maybe allowed to be a little less politically correct because I get to make fun of myself.
Yeah.
I get to say the M word. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
Peter's the kind of social justice gesture that'll tweet about a world hunger campaign and then share in between a feast of foodie pics. Whether it's behind the camera or in front of it, a bad guy is just a bad guy. Luckily, we have a few brave-hearted heroes who are making a stand.
But I do think that this is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Why are you hiring Snow White and the seven average people?
Yes, that's exactly right. Instead of following reality, you had tailor-made roles were rejected for the people who could represent them the best. That's completely absurd. Whoever's making the casting decisions over at Disney must be the very same person who thinks that a toaster makes for a great bath toy.
Well, if they want to make it right, they redo the movie and they recast. Okay. And they get Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Don't
right.
you think? Sometimes they have to lose. They lost it then. And now they got to come back better. Make it better, Disney.
You've got to do better, Senator.
But you know what? The good news is that our hero wasn't the only one standing up to speak out. They didn't leave him alone.
My issue with it is exactly what you said. There are actors, dwarf actors, that live, that dream to be in a major motion picture such as this Disney remake. And now, because Peter Dinklage said what he said last year, now it's taken away. These dwarf roles are for people of my stature. Right. And now it's taken away.
Neither Dylan nor Jason Acuna, who's also known as Wee Man on the Jackass series, have to worry their head for a second that they weren't cast in this Frankenstein film, because the sensitive seven are going to be nowhere. They're not going to come even close to resembling the original heroes from the animated classic.
Dwarfs' names fit their personalities. This pompous-looking individual is Doc, the self-appointed leader of the group. And this little fellow is Bashful. He's secretly in love with Snow White. And this funny face is Sneezy. He has hay fever. And old Droopy Eyes is called Sleepy. And Happy here with the beaming smile. And old Sourpuss here is Grumpy, the woman hater. And last but not least is Dopey. He's nice, but sort of silly.
I'm almost 100% certain that the modern-day Mouse House has already substituted Walt Disney's classic characters with an entire lineup of losers. So you can wave goodbye to Happy and Sleepy. They've been shoved to the sideline, and say hello to clickbait, buzzkill, and consumer, non-binary, self-righteous, equity, and glitch. That's just the way Disney rolls these days. You know, ever since they started swapping out their happily ever after stories with meanings, morals, and a little bit of fun, all for what's topic and trending today, it was the beginning of the end. The executives know it. What we're watching right now is the company in its death throes. Yet everyone in there still continues to double down on the same dumb policies.
All of these dwarves took care of Snow White. Right. They all had characteristics, separate characteristics. They weren't these cave-dwelling monsters that people speak of. They all had 7 different characteristics for 7 different actors that from my community, and I don't feel it's right that got taken away from us.
And utterly agree with you.
The mouse is the first rodent to be caught in its own trap. But what really gets me, outside of the cringe comments, the bad ideas, and the cast's big mouth, was the casting of Gal Gadot as the evil queen. I just cannot get my mind wrapped around it. It's like I sever all suspension of disbelief, because the director wants everyone to believe in the audience that Rachel Ziegler's woodland Wonder Girl is more beautiful than Wonder Woman herself. It's not happening for me. And the magical mirror, which tells no lies, when it's forced to tell the truth, it's going to crack. This casting is as crazy as the new trigger warnings on Dumbo, treating an animated film about a flying elephant like it's a documentary about the body positivity movement. It's just nuts. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen is that Snow White, when it debuts in 2024, it'll already be in the dumpster. The big question is, what's Disney going to do next? Are we going to see Toy Story 5? The tale of how Woody and Buzz launched a campaign against plastic toys. See, the Mouse House is out of ideas, and they're ready to be mulched. And if you want to continue winning from battle to battle, all you got to do is remember that we never bow down, we never bend the knee. Always forward.